Hello everyone, I am back with the second question of UPSC Mains 2025. So let's discuss. The question is, what are tsunamis, how and where they are formed, and what are their consequences? We have to explain with example. So I think this is the simplest form of question which UPSC can give, because it has provided all the dimensions which you need to mention in the answer. Because in many questions you have to create your own dimensions. Here you have got all the dimensions. So first is, you have to write what are tsunamis. Second is, how they are formed. Third is, where they are formed. Fourth is, what are their consequences. You have to substantiate with examples, right? So let's discuss a basic framework. You can provide a simple definition of tsunami. In the body, you have to address all the parts which are asked in the question. And at the last, the conclusion should be the solutions, international best practices, SDGs, these all things. So let's discuss. You have to provide a simple definition of tsunami. Like, tsunamis are the massive sea waves which are created because of the disruption of sea floor, which leads to displacement of huge volume of water. This will be the simple definition. Or secondly, you can provide any data or fact from any report. Okay, now coming to the body. So first you have to discuss how tsunamis are formed. Okay, so see, this is your sea floor. Okay, now various phenomena will be happening inside the sea floor. Okay, so it can be the volcanic eruption, or second thing can be underwater landslides, or third thing can be there can be tectonic movements between the plates. It can be the convergence also, or it can be the divergence also. So, because of these things, there will be increase in the size of sea waves. There will be increase in the volume of water. But the gravity will pull down this water. And as a result, this water will move horizontally. Okay, now consider this as seashore. Okay, so now these waves are approaching here, and since now here land area is coming and here there is very less amount of water, the waves will strike here and these waves will decrease in speed, but they will increase in height. Okay, you are seeing it is striking the seashore. Now their speed will reduce and their height will increase, causing disruption on the sea floor for the lives of people, for the infrastructure, biodiversity, etc. Okay, so this is how tsunamis form. Now, there is a difference between tsunami and simple sea waves. What is the difference? For simple sea waves, the primary carrier are your winds. And for winds, the primary reason responsible is the energy of sun. But for the tsunamis, the primary reason is the energy which it is receiving from inside the earth. The energy can be because of any of these. Understood? So, we have discussed how tsunamis are formed. Okay, this is done. Now, we have to discuss the formation of tsunamis. Okay, so whenever you are asked in geography or you are not asked, you have to make a map. Okay, to explain everything. So, Okay, so this is the Pacific Rings of Fire. Okay, so here 80% of the tsunamis are generated. Okay, second thing, so the reason is many trenches are present here. If you can remember the name of 3 or 4 trenches, you can write also here that because of these all reasons, 80% tsunamis are located here. And many other zones you can write where no diverging boundaries are present, where other fault zones are present. So basically, mainly you have to indicate the Pacific Rings of Fire, and other 3-4 regions also you can indicate. Now, third thing is the consequences and examples. So basically, if you have an idea about 2004 tsunami, if you have idea of 2011 tsunami, so the impacts on the human life, the impact on the infrastructure, the impact on the biodiversity, all these you can discuss. Okay, so now please pause the video, take 7 minutes to write your answer, then we shall be discussing the complete answer. Okay, now let's discuss the answer. So as we have already discussed, introduction, you can start with the basic definition of tsunami. So what are tsunami? They are series of ocean waves generated by sudden displacement of volume of water, and that displacement can be because of underwater earthquake, volcanic eruption or landslides. Right, introduction is done. Now coming to how they are formed. So see, we have already discussed sea floor disturbance. It can be because of any reason. Here I have given a small explanation how earthquake can generate tsunamis. So see, here this is the convergence zone. Okay, this is one plate, this is second plate, one plate is subducting under another plate. So this is the convergence zone, and this is the divergence zone. Okay, so because of convergence or divergence, the energy will be created. Okay, but as we have already discussed the location of the Pacific Rings of Fire, so basically, and in Pacific Rings of Fire, mainly the convergence zone is there. Okay, so the tsunamis can be mainly generated under the convergence. Now, water column displacement, as we have already discussed, the water will rise and gravity will pull it downwards. Third is water propagation, the waves will start moving towards the shore. And fourth is shoaling and coast impact. So as the wave enters the shallow coast, the speed is reduced and height is dramatically increased. We have already discussed, which causes the damage to the coastal area. Now, coming to where they are formed. So as we have already discussed, the main region is the Pacific Rings of Fire, where 80% tsunamis are generated. And if you can remember names of some trench like Kuriil Trench, Japan Trench, Mariana Trench. So these are the convergence zones basically. So 80% earthquakes are produced here. Now, second thing, the subduction zone, that is Andaman, Makran and Java trenches. So see, Andaman, Java trench is present here. Makran is near the Oman. So here also subduction zones are present. Now, volcanic islands. So Indonesia, Philippines, Java, Japan. So basically this complete area, is prone to tsunami. Now, see, we have discussed the convergence zone. Now, we are discussing about the transform fault lines, where the plates neither converge nor they diverge, they just move past each other. So, here you can give example of California coast and Mediterranean. And fourth, not very important, but you can say that areas which have steep underwater topography, if the topography is very steep, the landslides will occur more frequently. Okay, so these all you can say that the regions where they are found. Now coming to consequences of tsunami. So consequences, I have included immediate and long-term consequences. You can write under single head also. So immediate impact, obviously the human impact. So you can include about the 2004 tsunami or 2011 tsunami, any of them. So 2004 tsunami in the Indian Ocean, which killed around 230,000 people. Second is the infrastructure destruction. So here I have given example of 2011 Japan tsunami. See here what happened, no? After 2004 tsunami, the country started building the sea walls. Sea walls, why? For example, sea wall I have created, and here tsunamis will come and these walls will obstruct the tsunami. But what happened in 2011, no? The waves reached the height of 40 meters. So they surpassed this sea wall. And here was the nuclear power plant, Fukushima died. So it led to the meltdown of the nuclear power plant. So now you are seeing what all things are happening. Human casualties, infrastructure was destroyed, okay, and there was a nuclear meltdown. And now, because of these all things, because of tsunamis, major shipping routes also get destroyed. Okay, the shipping industry also gets impacted. Okay, so these are the immediate effects. Now, coming to the long-term consequences. See, if the seawater intrusion is happening, so it will create the problem for the freshwater resources, right? So, salt water intrusion affecting the agriculture, also affecting the freshwater resources for human beings. Second will be the economic disruption. So, after 2004 tsunami, the many surrounding nations were impacted because of the economic losses also, human losses also. For example, Thailand and Sri Lanka faced tourism losses after 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. Third is social displacement. See, in 2011 Japan tsunami happened, but even after many years, still many people remain displaced. Okay, they haven't been relocated. Groundwater contamination, we have already discussed that because of the seawater intrusion, groundwater will get contaminated and will create the issue for freshwater resources. Now, the ecosystem damage. So, damage, you can write about the coral reefs, about the mangrove destruction. See, I will give you an example here. For example, this is seashore. Okay. This is seashore. These are mangroves. Okay. So, because of tsunamis, no, these mangroves ecosystem get destroyed. Okay. And if these ecosystems get destroyed, no, sea water can easily inundate the coastal regions and they can create the destruction. Okay, so this is why we say the ecosystem damage. Coral reefs also get damaged, mangroves ecosystem also get damaged. So now what are the solutions? So see, first solution is sea wall system, which we have already discussed, but it does not help every time. Second is harnessing nature's power. What do we mean by that? As we have already discussed the mangroves. So see, mangroves have the potential to slow down the speed of sea waves. So we need to protect these mangroves ecosystem. Third thing is the tsunami resilience. Recently, it was in news that Tonga Island tsunami resilience have worked very good for their country because of the early warning system they are using. Early warning system and local participation. Because you have to train the community, no, for the disaster. And last thing we can say is there was a recent exercise, Indian Ocean Wave 2023, where scenario was created for tsunami and the forces have to deal with those scenarios. So these all were the some of the solutions which you can use for the preparedness of tsunami. Okay, so this was all for this question. Thank you.